Hi, it's Celeste, your canary in the coal mine. We're entering summer, so I noticed that the Consumer Reports for what time? July of 2016 has a report in it about insect repellents. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about insect repellents. Now, frankly, I live in Illinois, and I don't do much hiking in the woods or anything, so I don't use an insect repellent because I'd be concerned about putting chemicals on my skin, and most insect repellents are based on synthetic chemicals. But when I lived in Florida about a decade ago, I did use insect repellents. And I use pretty strong ones because you just get eaten alive down there if you don't have insect repellent on when you go out in the morning or you go out in the evening. But so what I'm saying is moderate your use of insect repellents. If all you're going to do is walk out to the car or something where you're not really going to be encountering a whole lot of ticks and mosquitoes and stuff like that, maybe you could think about just not using an insect repellent at all. I mean, what's a couple mosquito bites? No big deal. If you're going to actually be going into an environment where you're highly likely to get bit up, like when I lived in Florida years ago, we used to go visit the Everglades. Well, my God, the second you step out of your car, you start getting eaten up by all the bugs down there. So in that case, I would, use an insect repellent. But I wouldn't use it every day on a daily basis just to avoid a little bit of annoyance. So anyway, this article in Consumer Reports, July issue, talks about, they did a bunch of ratings like they usually do of the effectiveness of different insect repellents, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about them. I don't have the resources to check all these myself. I trust Consumer Reports has done a good job of doing the testing. So their number one has a synthetic ingredient called picaridin in it. So I would be like, it's really rated high in terms of repelling the insects, but I'd be nervous about that one without finding out more about what is this picaridin thing, because it's a synthetic. I mean, I looked it up on the internet. That's as much as I know right now. Now, the second best was one that has 30% DEET. Now, I know DEET works. That's the one I used to use down in Florida when I really needed an insect repellent, and that's the one that when I went to Africa and we were going to be out in the jungle, that was what was recommended. But again, DEET is an artificial synthetic chemical, and I would have to investigate, at this point in my life when I'm a little more aware, I would have to investigate more what are the possible side effects of using this on my skin. And it's probably one that I would consider using because I know that I've used DEET successfully in the past, but only when I was going to go into an environment where there was going to be a lot of bugs and they were highly likely to bite me up. So the next one down the list has lemon eucalyptus in it. So I'm going like, oh, okay, sounds like a natural ingredient. So that would be one that I would check out further probably. And then I go down the list and there's more DEET and there's more picaridin. And then you get down to some of the ones that are listed as natural. And when you read the ingredients, they all sound like they're natural ingredients. They sound like they're essential oils of some kind. There is a castor oil, probably that's the base, rosemary oil, lemongrass oil, cedar oil, peppermint oil, citronella oil, clove oil, and geranium oil is in one product. But the effectiveness score is way down. So, if you only need a light amount of protection, that might be good enough. So that's the unfortunate thing, is that the more natural ingredients that are probably far less harmful for you to put on your skin also are not as effective as some of the synthetics. So what I'm saying is, take a look at this Consumer Reports article and make some decisions. Don't just blindly choose something off the shelf. Look at what the ingredients are and try to go for more natural ingredients. And if one of the ones with more natural ingredients works good enough for you, that's great, But if you're going to be going into a circumstance where there's going to be a lot of potential harmful bugs, like you're going into the woods and you might pick up Lyme disease or something, then I'd go with one of the more intense synthetic products, but only for that trip. I wouldn't be putting it on my skin every single day. So that's all I wanted to say about insect repellents, and I hope that's another helpful tip to get you well and keep you well. Thanks.